Okay, everyone. Okay, I'm going to do a little review of this chainsaw I bought. This is my, 4, this is my 5th chainsaw that I've had in 17 years that I've been in Tassie. Because I cut firewood for 9 months of the year, we burn approximately 3 metres of firewood a fortnight. Because I got the main fire going in the house, and which it's burning 24/7. I just shut it down during the day and overnight while we're asleep. So, and of course this one here that I burn in the shed. So, and what you can see is wet, dirty wood. This is, when I collect wood, I collect everything, including what's lying on the ground, and the dirty wet stuff I bring it in here, stack it around the firebox. What's normally stacked around the firebox. I've actually had to move it because, I've had to put these pieces of wood up against the wall so that when I use my ramps, they don't just push out of the way. I've also made extra ramps. This was for my other car because it had to come up more gradual to not catch. Anyway, getting sidetracked here. Right, so yeah, as I said, 3 metres of wood a fortnight for 9 months a year. I cut a lot of wood. So, yeah, and this one I bought for $400 in Australia, and I got a 5-month warranty with it. I've now had this for a year. I thought it's about time to do a bit of a review. I'm quite happy with this chainsaw. It's got a lot of torque. It's the same CC as my last one, my Ryobi, but got a lot more power. And doesn't die out as anywhere near as easy. As I said, 5-year warranty. It's great. I did have an issue with it when I first got it. It was seizing up, not the engine, but the actual clutch and chain unit. And that was no fault of the chainsaw itself. That was because the shop where they assembled it put a plate on wrong, and where it was blocking the oil flow to the chain. Anyway, they fixed it up, and it's been running fine ever since. It hasn't even been in for a service in the whole year. Still running fine. Alright. I don't know what. There was actually something in this hole here. It was probably to stop the chain coming off or something, but that fell out about a month ago, and I probably should go and find out what it is and replace it. Actually, possibly a spring broke. The springs actually broke, but anyway, figured it's not really necessary. It hasn't lost the chain in a year. It hasn't come off, so I'm not concerned about it. It doesn't affect the running of it. There's probably something that just vibrated loose. This is just going to show something that's a bonus, but there's actually something here that's a disadvantage as well. I don't know why this happens, but so I only did this up finger tight, and now it's too tight to undo with my fingers. So, and the fuel filter and oil, or not the fuel filter, but the oil filler has the same issue. I do it up with my fingers, and then I can't undo it with my fingers. It just seems to tighten itself up or something. And, this is the cover for the air filter. As you say, see, it's got quite a large paper element filter. That is a real bonus. The previous 4 chainsaws I had an issue with filters. They only had little tiny foam filters that clogged up real quick, and got holes in them and whatnot. So yeah, what I do every time I or before I go cutting wood each fortnight, yeah, I'll sharpen. I got 3 chains. I use one or sometimes 2 if I happen to nick something and blunt it. But yeah, when I sharpen the chain, I'll blow the whole thing out with compressed air, including the filter. Of course, you don't put the air directly onto the filter, or not at the tip anyway. You do it from a little bit of a distance, you don't blow a hole in it. But yeah, I clean that and clean everything else while I'm at it. Okay, the disadvantages. These are things that could have been eliminated when they were manufacturing it. This oil filter, directly under the bar, that is a real pain. And as you can see, it collects dirt all around the cap. Yeah, instead of a plug, I said a cap, but it's actually a plug. And yeah, you see this is too tight to get undone with my fingers. I have to get the screwdriver that's on the plug spanner to open that. And part of it's because you can't really access it that well because it's down in the hole. But yeah, instead of being a plug, it should have been a cap, because if you don't clean this, you're going to end up, like before you take the cap off, you're going to end up with a tank full of sawdust. So yeah, that could have been avoided by putting a cap on it instead of a plug. And the same with the fuel filler. So yeah, what I actually do is I take a paintbrush with me, and which I forgot the last time. So yeah, I've just been pouring a little bit of fuel and I'm washing it off before I open it. Okay, so that's one little annoyance that could have been designed a little better. This is the other thing that's a bit of an annoyance. Your bolts or your nuts for the chain cover, they're down in the hole here like this, and when you use the tool that they supplied you with, the screwdriver part, which is what you use to turn it, is barely above the plastic, and you go to turn it and you're hitting here and here and you can't wrap your fingers around it. You can only just push on it, and it's just a friggin' nuisance, you know. Yeah, they could have designed that a whole lot better. They could have put the nuts on the outside, or at least given you a spanner that fits it properly. So yeah, when I'm at home, I just use a regular socket. But yeah, but as I said, overall, I'm very happy with this chainsaw. It's given me no trouble at all. It's strong, it's reliable, doesn't stall all the time. And, you know, the previous saw I had used to stall. You'd put it down. Sometimes you'd put it down to move a log. It'd run for 5-10 minutes. As soon as you pick it up, it'd stall. Or as soon as you go to rev it, it'd stall. You know, and you get it tuned up, it'd run, you know, for a couple of months, and they start doing it again. You just had to keep regularly getting the thing tuned up. Whereas this has been running for a year, no issues. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's called a Bush Ranger. This was the I don't think they have any really big ones like the Farm Boss, or if they do, I didn't see them in the shop. This was the second biggest that I saw in the shop, and I got this one because I already had 3 chains, and this one took the same size. I think it's a 320 chain as the previous saw, so I didn't want to throw away me 3 new chains that I had from the previous saw. So yeah, that's why I picked this one. But yeah, it's an Australian company, probably not Australian made, it's probably Chinese made or something, but yeah, it's built to a good standard, and I'm very happy with it. So, yeah, anybody wondering about a cheap chainsaw that's good value for money, yeah, can't go wrong with this, especially with a 5-year warranty. And but yeah, with warranties, it sometimes relies, upon the shop that's selling it. Some shops won't properly honour their warranties. Yeah, so yeah, choose it from a good dealer, one with reasonable people. So, anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.